From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen, and proudly welcoming you into this Thursday's edition of For the People on November the 9th, 2017. I was up last night watching the CMA Award shows, and I got to tell you, a lot of surprises. One that we're going to talk about, two. The first one that's getting a lot of play is the mocking of the president. Now, every president has had comedians that have made fun of them, have said things about them, and, you know, they say, like, you know, if you don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen. I mean, that's one thing that you're going to get, and you'd have to admit Donald Trump definitely gets much more of the backlash, if you will, from the liberal left, but did not think that the CMA Award show this year, because of the climate of our country, the things that are going on, I just thought mocking the president during the CMA Award show, didn't think it was a great idea. Even though you get the best talent teaming up to do a show, you know, who am I talking about? Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley. They teamed up, did this song together, and it was very creative. It was very catchy. I'm going to play it so you can hear it, and you might laugh at it. But then you kind of you think of what's going on in the world, the shootings, and believe me, they did some amazing remembrances for those that got shot in Texas and in Las Vegas. And that was nice that they had done some nice songs. Amazing Grace was sung, performed by Eric Church before Keith Urban, Lady Antebellum, Darius Rucker, and many more teamed up to perform Hold My Hand. And it was very star-studded. You know, as usual, the CMA Award show, ABC must get some really amazing ratings and make a lot of money off this particular broadcast. It was the 51st annual CMA Award show, by the way. And the very best in country music that come together. But who really stole the show was Garth Brooks. He took home the top prize, which was being crowned Entertainer of the Year. And we're going to play a Garth Brooks song, some of the big contenders of last night. But I don't think that's any joking matter. And I know there has to be levity. Like I say, I have an open mind. Most of you know I have a sense of humor. But just with the amount of mockery that Donald Trump is receiving around the country, it's not the time nor the place, and there was no need for it. There was no place for it. We're in a free country, but they wouldn't do that to Barack Obama. They wouldn't do it to black president. They wouldn't have mocked him. I don't think that people really realize how pivotal the trip is that Donald Trump is taking. I think it's a world away where people don't even think that these things actually affect us, but they actually do. I don't think they really get how grave things could really get in a moment. And, you know, it's eluded, many people to the left elude, that it's Donald Trump that's actually setting things off in the Middle East because he calls Un a rocket man. How about we destroy your city, sir? Ma'am, how about we destroy your city, your town, or your country? Because that's what Un has threatened to do, to annihilate the United States, Guam, the territories, Japan, South Korea, with their nukes. That's not so funny anymore. It's just some things are funny and some things are not. And again, I could have totally done away with it from hearing it. And again, I laughed because there was some funny parts because they're entertainers. They write catchy lyrics, ha, ha, ha. And then I thought to myself, but it's really, you shouldn't be laughing at it. Some things are, it's kind of like the offbeat joke that you just know that it was seeded with something that could have been construed as being racist, but you laughed anyway. Then you realize, it wasn't so funny because, that could be very hurtful. And I just wonder what people really are thinking about this because it's much more than just attacking an individual, somebody. I mean, this is our president. This is the president of the United States of America. And again, if they realize how reckless, how unthoughtful Kim Jong-un is to his people and what goes on over there, count themselves blessed that they can be there in Nashville in their suits and ties and enjoy the evening amongst each other. It's just some of my thoughts. I just don't think that they think these things through. Make music. Tell jokes, but not at the expense of our country. This is the commander-in-chief who is in charge of our country and our military. There's something to this. The last time I checked, there is actually some authority that the president has. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of authority. Here is the song that maybe you've missed last night if you didn't stay up and watch the CMA Awards. And by the way, I wasn't thrown off for the whole night. I enjoyed many of the acts, many of the music that was down there in Nashville. I like country music. There's no doubt about it. It was really great. So I'm not saying that I did not have a great evening. But Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley, this is their particular song, poking, I don't think fun, but mocking the president. There's a big difference. Here they are. You guys warmed up?
Clearly, we can't say or play anything. So I guess to present our first award of the night, the stars of the new movie. What are you doing, Brad?
Oh, I'm definitely not doing this one. Right now, he's probably in his PJs, watching cable news, reaching for his cell phone.
Really?
Right now, he's probably asking Siri, how in the hell do you spell Pocahontas?
Well, here we go.
In the middle of the night, from the privacy of a gold-plated White House toilet seat, he writes, Little Bob Corker, NFL, and Kofi.
Kofi!
Kofefi?
Kofifi?
Kofefi.
Kofifi.
Feffy.
Fifi.
Feff.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. And it's fun to watch, yeah, that's for sure, till little Rocket Man starts a nuclear war, and then maybe next time
he'll think
before he tweets.
And what do they do? They applaud this wildly.
Yeah, we can't do that one.
Definitely not.
It was funny, but it wasn't funny. And again, listen, you got to have a sense of humor these days. But the tweets are effective. The guy hasn't launched in a month and a half, 2 months, anything. There's 3 aircraft carriers out there. I don't think he's going to be doing anything anytime soon. This is strong language, and it's better language and more guts and gusto than any president in recent history that has decided to say, you know what? We're not going to allow you to terrorize. We're not going to allow you to do any damage. And if you do, you will be met by the full wrath of the U.S. military. And we can back it up, folks. We can back it up. I mean, there's funny and there's not funny. That was just unclassy. But this follows the late night TV talk show hosts and others that just they can't control themselves. They think they just have to do this, and if they don't do this, then they're out. You can't say anything nice about Donald Trump. You can't say anything nice about the president. But man, if you said anything bad about Barack Obama, anything bad about it, you were labeled a racist. But if you vote for Donald Trump, you are racist. You see the problem here, folks? I mean, it'd be one thing if we never had a white president in America. 8 years, I guess that just spoiled a lot of us. I didn't realize just what a great difference it made. Of thousands of homicides in Chicago that still hasn't stopped. Policies are so great. Let's ramp up and let's do more gun control. Let's have stricter regulations in our country. Chicago has the strictest in the country. And yet thousands of homicides are going on. 1,500 of them. Just in a year or so? 2 years? I mean, the bodies are stacking up there. That's not the answer. That would be too easy. Just like a genie, like boom, it's over. All the bad guys are going to run away. And all the bad guys, by the way, are going to follow the law because they're going to be scared. They're going to be running. They're going to be running for the hills. There's a report that the kneeling protests are sparking a major war among NFL owners against Roger Goodell. Did you hear this one? A group of NFL owners led by Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys owner, are reportedly making moves to stall the contract extension of Commissioner Roger Goodell. They're citing the mishandling of player protest among their reasons. According to the New York Times, Ken Belson, Jones had hired a powerful lawyer and threatened to sue the NFL over Goodell's contract extension. So Jones is angry because of the suspension of Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott over allegations of domestic violence and also over mismanagement of the controversy stemming from players' protests during the national anthem. Goodell initially allowed players to protest during the national anthem, then appeared to propose a new rule demanding they stand during the national anthem, and then back down after a public outcry. So Jones also tried to thread the needle over the protests. As you know, Jones also tried to do that. But to kneel before the national anthem was sung and then standing together during the anthem, and afterward he said that players, any player who would be seen protesting during the anthem would be benched. So at the owner's most recent quarterly meeting, it was reported that the anthem protests were hardly discussed at all. Meanwhile, Colin Kaepernick, the former 49ers quarterback who started the protest, is suing the NFL for collusion to keep him from playing. Goodell's terms as commissioner has been mired by controversy, as everybody knows. But he's also overseen a massive increase in profitability and viewership. This has been a very touch-and-go situation for Goodell and for owners. There was a huge backlash. Make no surprise about it. Everybody was talking about it. Viewership was down. And what Goodell was not supposed to do, get involved? I mean, that's his job. They were divided. People were for it. People were against it. And then he would be seen as a racist if he altogether didn't allow him to do it. And now he just makes it their choice for they to do it. I mean, nobody can really make a stand. So it's interesting to see how this all kind of, irons out at the end.